why consumerism is taking over and how Jungian psychology explains our obsession with comfort. I opened this essay with the Jungian notion that the ego, the archetypal mother, and the archetypal father may be responsible for creating an environment where mass consumption runs rampant. To begin to grasp how these seemingly distant ideas connect to each other, we must understand what the archetypal father, the archetypal mother, and the ego are, for I know that these things are not well known. The ego is our inner voice. It is that which guides us, tricks us, and allows us to think. It is basically our consciousness and ego, which is telling us to drink, eat, reproduce, play video games, etc. So it's the voice in your head. The archetypal father is that which seeks challenge and discomfort. The archetypal father embodies strength, wisdom, anger, protection, and more, whilst also providing the ego with structure, order, and discipline, shaping the ego into something functional and grounded. Moreover, it is that which offers us a sense of direction, guiding us towards moral perfection and spiritual growth, even holding the power to silence the ID. And the ID is like the dark side of the psyche. It is the evil parts of us which seek power, money, sex, etc. So it's, yeah, the ego, the evil ego. Yeah. The archetypal father is the antithesis of the archetypal mother. So, yeah, the archetypal mother protects and shields us, nurturing her. The archetypal mother protects and shields us, nurturing through passive means of healing rather than challenge. It is a way more comfortable way to life than the, I guess, father's way to life, which I guess grows through challenge rather than nurturing, passive nurturing, you know? She forms the ego within her womb and gives birth to it whenever it is ready to self identify. I actually have to explain this because most of you do not know what I'm talking about because you guys have not read any Neumann or I guess Jung. I don't even think Jung spoke about this. I think fuck. I think only Neumann did, but Neumann basically said that at the start of life, when you're a child and you, I guess, don't even have your ego developed yet, the ego is developing inside the womb of the mother, and like swims around in the womb like in a circle, you know, until it is ready to self-identify, and when until the mother is ready to give birth to it. And the reason we call it the womb is because it protects from the outside, it shields us from the horrors of the world. We have no conscience to be able to think over, I guess, the sufferings of the world and how unfair the world might be. We have no desires and we have no things which can hurt us. We are protected inside the mother's womb. So that's why it's called the womb. And whenever the archetypal mother gives birth to us, that is whenever we develop a sense of ego and a sense of voice, you know? That is when we are able to look out into the world and like clearly see objects and clearly see ourselves reflected in the world we live in, you know? That's when we are ready to self-identify. And whenever the self identification process begins, meaning is something the ego must constantly search for in order to stay afloat. As a child with a newly developed ego, meaning could be something as simple as being the strongest in your class. Whatever it may be, an absence of meaning brings terrible disorder, with neuroticism, nihilism, and melancholy slowly eating away at the ego. So basically, ever since we develop a voice, we need meaning to stay afloat. Many of us cannot find meaning in our modern time. We have stripped bare the pillars of tradition and used them to fuel our factories. And factories, in this sense, is just like consumerism, materialism, all these things associated with capitalism and, I guess, modernism, you know? In a sense, we could state that the In a sense, we could state that the we. Bro, what's happening to me? In a sense, we could state that we have burned the archetypal father at the stake and fed him to the archetypal mother. We have replaced challenge with comfort, with modern societies demonizing masculine traits such as stoicism, strength, competitiveness, or assertiveness. So basically, what this means is that instead of, I guess, instead of balancing the father and the mother, instead of having nurture and challenge at our sides, we have just completely destroyed challenge and just opted for comfort. So, yeah, I mean, you can see that in modern societies, we we live in comfort, you know. Yeah. So we've just gone towards the mother completely. This is what leads me to my main point, namely that challenge no longer exists. Meaning no longer exists. Suffering has become something totally unpleasant and redundant, with modern society constantly seeking to replace it. That's the thing, because when you don't have meaning to, I guess, turn to whenever you're suffering, all you have to turn to is comfort. I mean, the Nietzschean way forward of finding meaning, to, I guess, be able to fight through the suffering and overcome it, we don't have that anymore because, I mean, we just have the archetypal mother. The archetypal mother has no meaning. She has only comfort and she has only nurture. She has no way to be able to pierce through the suffering and, I guess, overcome it. So consumerism rates are so high because comfort and pleasure is all we have. The archetypal father lay charred and lifeless, while the archetypal mother grows fat and devouring. She promises comfort, with slogans such as "Buy two, get three," "Sale," "New and improved," etc. The father has no voice and no strength to protect the ego and guide it towards moral perfection. Order, strength, and discipline are all thrown out the window. Consumerism is most powerful when we have no strength left to combat it.